SGA, the best mid-range shooter I ever seen.
He's automatic.
No, no, that's it. That's it. And it's not even, I don't need stats. Just watch the game.
Welcome to Hits and Hoops. I'm Tyler, and I'm here with my pick and roll partner, Dixon. What's good, Chicho?
Wagwan, bruv. Been a little minute since the accenting. We back in it.
Today wrapped up the second round of the NBA playoffs, and we're here to review not only this past round, we're here to preview the conference finals. But before I get started, make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, share on TikTok, Spotify, Apple, and YouTube.
Need it all. Good and
Hey,
bad.
almost at that 5K. That's
And
that's
I ain't
that's
talking no marathon.
that's awesome. All right, first matchup. I'm going to talk about the blowouts first, and then we're going to get into the good stuff. Minnesota beats the Warriors 4-1 with on a Stephless team. Let's remember that. To me, the first thing I see out of this is Minnesota played around with their food a lot in this series. To me, because Jimmy by himself wasn't going to be able to beat this team because how good Minnesota is, and they played around with their food a little bit, but they got it done. They got it done. If Steph was playing in this series, it would have been a lot more interesting
Would
because
have been
Steph
at
is
least
that guy.
six.
Yeah, Steph is that guy. But in this matchup, 4-1, so a gentleman's sweep. Golden State got the first win. What did you see in this matchup?
So, first of all, I gotta come out here and say that I was wrong. Jimmy Butler didn't have another playoff run left in him. The only time playoff Jimmy showed up was the playing game. Stats that don't even count. Those stats are wiped away from history. But he did go crazy in the playing game. I think he had one good game in the series, but just overall, as a series, playoff Jimmy wasn't there. Playoff Jimmy's over. It's okay. He's old. Been in the league for a minute since a young bull in Chicago. And honestly, I think those Miami runs really took a lot out of him. Like if you really seen him in the bubble, like dead tired, like at the table, bent over, pause, you knew he gave it his all. And you know that Miami condition ain't no game either. Shout out to Jimmy though. He'll be a great
It's
second
kind of
option. He'll be a great second option nowadays. Even maybe third option. Um, I think, the Timberwolves have been looking like the best team in the playoffs. The most dominant team in the playoffs. This is their second gentleman sweep in a row. First took out Braun and Luca, now took out Jimmy and Dre. So, and yo, Ant-Man, another list.
mhm.
Another legend on the list of legends that he slayed.
If he gets
You
past,
got you got Jokic last year. We can already say he's a legend.
yeah, that's pretty. That's yeah,
You
that's
had
true.
KD last year and Book. Swept him. You got Braun and Luca gentleman sweep, and then now I'm still gonna throw Steph Curry's name in there.
Of course, what I mean,
I
it's
heard people trying to
unfortunate he
say he
got
wasn't
hurt.
there, and no, you were on the team, buddy. I'm throwing your name in there. He could collect your body. He could collect your soul as well.
I mean, yeah. Going back to the JB thing, it's kind of ironic how the season ended for him on a team like how what the season ended at, because that was like a different Miami. Like it was worse than Miami. So it's like you got to the playoffs, you got to where you wanted to be a contender. Because at one point Warriors, they were what, 27-7. They were looking
Yeah, no, they were going
on
crazy. They
fire.
were like 18-2 at one point with him or some crazy
Yeah,
shit.
with Steph, this series would have been a lot different. I feel it would have been a lot closer and a lot more competitive because you
For
take
sure.
top 10 player, ever away from any roster is gonna be hurt. JB only could do what he could, and it was the
That
supporting
team
cast.
without Steph is mid.
That at best, you're being generous at mid.
No offense whatsoever. The
Everybody,
only sign of offense was my boy, which I'm so mad about. Kaminga. All right, this is the problem with the Warriors. Hey, you can go back to episode one of this podcast, and it's all connected. The mishandling, the fumbling of the second wave that was supposed to be Kaminga, Poole, and Moody continues,
And Wiseman. And Wiseman.
which they could have got LaMelo. No one ever talks about that. Why doesn't no one ever talk about the bust that Wiseman is? The Warriors could have had LaMelo, but they was already worried because they had Steph. You can only have one superstar. It's politics. But anyways, Poole got out of there after he got knocked out. It was fucked up. I did a whole episode one, Hits and Hoops. Just look it up.
Wow.
And then Moody never really panned out, but Kaminga showed a lot of flashes, and toward the end of the year and even in the playoffs, wasn't even playing. Didn't even get any minutes. When he did put him in there this series, he balled the fuck out. He
What
showed
is your
ass this series. He got himself a contract on a team,
yeah,
another team, because he ain't gonna be on the Warriors. Another
nah.
team from this series, and he only played because Steph got injured.
What is your thoughts on Kaminga? Like what kind of player do you view him as?
I like Kuminga. I like Kuminga. He's like a Sean Kemp, like a slashing, dominant, dunk on your head top, downhill type player.
And if
You
you're
know,
Golden State, I know that would hurt you, right? But if you're Golden State, would you be okay with getting rid of Kaminga?
yeah, because at this point you already fucked up the whole. It was a whole thing that was supposed to happen. It was Clay, Draymond, Steph, and then that second unit was supposed to be Kamingo, Poole, Moody. Like that was the move. But it's already too late now with the second crew. Like they already fucked up the first crew. Got rid of Clay and got Jimmy. So yeah, I think it's best for both parties to just get rid of him now.
To move on. So some nice things I want to say about Minnesota. Minnesota in this series, they took care of business, like I said. But what was the biggest surprise of the series? Rather than Steph going out, Julius Randle playing some of his best ball, and not only his best ball, some of the best ball in the playoffs
At the
in
right
total.
time.
Playing all right against LeBron, he physically tried to use his dominance, right? And it would to me in that series, it was like, okay, there's
Every
something
time he
going on
seen
here.
Braun on him, he went crazy hard.
Hard.
Pause.
Yeah. This next round, he used his shoot, not only his shooting, but he used his physicality also.
He
Some of
shows a
these
lot of skill
games,
though with some of those step
some of
throughs,
the,
pump fakes.
right, some of these games, Ant had a slow start to, and he was the one that led the charge. So as a number two on this team, which he's definitely made his role as in on this roster, I've been really impressed, and I'm not a big Randall guy. I punted on him a long time ago, but
Yeah.
this playoff
Nah, he's
series
been
and
hooping.
this run of Minnesota basketball, he's playing like this. He's going to be
It's really since he's came back from his injury, and this was like about a third quarter, 30 like a third of the way in the NBA season. He came back, and ever since then they've been hooping. But I think Anthony Edwards, he hit this point in his career a lot quicker, I think, than expected, which is the point that every great hits. Jordan, Braun, even Tatum, where it's like you kind of give up a little bit of the self stats, the self accolades and all that for the team success. You
Dwayne
say
Wade.
maybe I don't gotta go for 30, but if I get 26 and 8, it'll help the team, it'll help my teammates and it'll get me the W. So I see him at that level now, which I think like those slow starts and everything, I think all that's on purpose. I think he's learning how to play the game like the greats do, which is let me get my teammates involved for the first three quarters, first half. Let me make sure they straight because I know second half I'm coming for that, and that's really more of a mentality type thing, which we talked about. He got that dog mentality. He got that rare dog mentality. I'm talking about that Westbrook. I'm talking about that Kobe, that Jordan.
I agree with you when you were saying about how he wants to get his teammates more involved because that team is so big and can be so physical on defense. As soon as McDaniel gets going, as soon as Conley gets going, and
If
if
McDaniels
Gobert
gets
gets
going,
going, it's hard
mm,
because Ant is always going somehow. He's giving it to you on both sides. Pause. And he's gonna keep bringing it. Pause. what is if Ant could get everybody set up and then he could come in and finish it, that's where you want to be.
Hey, on a side note, please, we got to get a compilation of the pauses from this episode because I'm telling you, they're epic. We'll
Uh,
release a little clip, a little meme shit.
Going into the next series, Indiana beat Cleveland, the team that I crowned the best in the East. But the team that was in this series was not the team I've seen all year. Indiana looks like a new age Spurs. They play like the Spurs to me
Mm,
with
wow,
Carlisle. They play like the
wow.
Spurs in late 2000s, early 2010s. That's what I see. That's
Team
what I see.
ball, good defense.
Team ball. It don't matter who's scoring. Just get the best shot for all these players. And shit, Siakam, Halliburton, down the line. Even their big man, Miles Turner, they all can shoot.
I'm kind of happy for Miles Turner because Miles Turner is, to me, one of the more underrated players in the league. Has been for a long time
Yeah,
because he's over there in Indiana, but one of the more skilled bigs. Um, he's been doing this thing for a minute, so I'm glad to actually see him make it this far. But that team, that ball movement, that Spurs style offense, that all starts at the top. If you have a true OG, hey, ladies and gentlemen, YNs, all my young people. People that say Halliburton's overrated because you're looking at the stats and stuff. If you look at Chris Paul's stats, it's not going to blow you away in terms of his averages. You look at Rondo's stats in terms of his averages, not going to blow you away. But their impact on the game, that's a true point guard. He going to find others. He's going to set up the whole offense, and he's fast paced with it. Super awkward, ugly playing style. Super awkward, ugly. Reminds me of Kevin Martin.
oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, he got a little bit of his game in there as well. But have you heard his voice changing?
What you mean?
Bro, he on some other shit. Halliburton's voice be changing
Like while
like
he's
one
talking?
sentence. Yeah, yes,
What?
bro. I'm gonna send you a clip. So like one sentence he'll say it like this. Yeah, so like, we just had to get the rebound, and then next sentence will be like, yeah, so like, and then we had to get the pass. Bro, it's weird. It's freaky. I'm telling you,
Is
bro.
it purposeful?
He said he don't even realize it's
You
happening, but
troll?
bro, I don't know. But people in the comments, they be saying like, "Yo, that's your white side and your black side fighting."
Oh my god! Like the
Like
whole
one sentence is
identity.
Tyrese and the other sentence is Halliburton. Jit.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's really how it sounds. Like it's evil and a good side. It's weird. I'm gonna send you a clip. You gotta check it out. It's funny as hell. But
So
yeah,
and
man,
it,
I think
it
this was a huge shocker with the Cavs, bro.
yeah, I mean, let's give credit when credit's due. 4-1 gentleman sweep. Indiana played with more physical. They hit their buckets. No one looked scared, and they also had a better coach. It's just really what it came down to because they beat them in every phase. So credit to where credit's due. Indiana did their thing. Cleveland, no one showed up but Donovan Mitchell.
I think what went wrong with Cleveland is
Can't say the Garland thing either. You can't say
the,
it.
the injuries plus that game losing shot and how
Yeah.
Indiana came back in the final moments and
The
Halliburton hit that crazy step back.
yeah.
The combination of those two things completely destroyed their spirit.
After game
After that
two, they
game,
were
after that game
demoralized.
winner, you're done, buddy.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah, they were done. Where does Cleveland go from here? Do they run it back? Do they try to retool? What do you think they
If
should
I
do?
were them, I'll run it back. They were the best team in the East all year long. Now they got their playoff experience under them, and I'm not gonna lie, like it's weird because he's a great playoff performer, Donovan Mitchell, but he always seems to come up short in the playoffs, or at least his team.
His teams,
And
yeah.
he's a great regular season player. Like he's been on really good to great regular season teams, but in the playoffs, even though he balls, he gets his team always seems to come up short.
Okay, I have one thing. I don't think this is going to happen because I think you're right. I think they're going to run it back, probably retool some of the bench, um, maybe
Get Strus
upgrade
the fuck out of here, fam.
maybe upgrade the Struce part. But I've seen Struce hit 7 threes in a row, play big against bigger players. I've seen him do that.
You know what he
And
put up last game?
yeah, yeah,
Game
yeah.
five?
I haven't seen him do that. What I think
Zero.
they should do is, and it's not going to be popular, is move Garland to the 6 man position and upgrade. Listen, and upgrade that spot. I think if they could
Upgrade
get
what spot?
another big guard, because like let's be honest, if Garland's offense isn't working like we saw in the playoffs, but he was hurt, it's going to be hard.
He
This
was, but also Mobley didn't show up. And
no,
he's
no. But that's
supposedly
what I'm saying. If they upgrade, if they put like a 6'7", 6'8" shooting guard that can hold his own, I mean, I'm not going to start naming names, but like as like another scorer for more help because Garland is such a good playmaker. Not only can he score, he's a great playmaker. But the
yeah,
size
he
thing
gotta
in the
stop.
playoffs, the size thing in the
Because you
playoffs is
got two
huge.
small guards, you saying.
Exactly. So if Donovan was the smaller guard, Donovan's built. He's a tank. If
Yeah.
Donovan's a smaller guard and you add a bigger guard to that rotation, and then put Garland in with Donovan out,
They
the
gotta start both just because like politically, but definitely the coach could play with it where it's like when they play after they start, it's like with the different units. That could
yeah.
be a good way the coach could play with it.
Yeah, so I
Pause.
mean, if I'm a Cleveland fan, I'm pretty upset just because
Oh
at
hell
the
yeah. I'm pissed off.
it was
And
bad.
Indiana's like a team that like you hate to lose to. Cause like Halliburton, you know he's just gonna be talking shit with the voice changing and shit. Dad gonna be stepping all over the court, doing who knows what.
Yeah, yeah, that was wild. That was a wild story. Going into the next series, Knicks win in 6, a exhilarating series for the first 3 games.
Super crazy series, up and down like crazy.
The fact that Boston had 2 20-point game in a row collapses. New York put on a Superman cape. Everybody on that team had contributed. It was, I mean, as a Boston hater, it was great. But as a someone that loves the NBA, it was the best. And I don't even like New York, but the
Right.
way the historic seasoning that this series got was awesome.
But the
That
league is
game,
always better when New York is good. Basketball is always better when New York is good.
it was great. I mean, King Brunson showed that he's still a top 10 player.
Night
Um,
Walker.
he's the Nightwalker. Yeah, he's the coldest in the game right now. What it, I'm gonna let you go ahead before I ask you about Boston. But what did you see with New York in this series?
Remember we had a conversation like during the year. We were like maybe toward the end of the year, like, yo, New York, like,
Yeah.
what do we think about all the moves? Did it work? Like, did the experimentation work? Did the Villanova boys thing work? And I told you, no, I don't think so. Because I
Hmm.
projected him to be like really good. Like, I'm talking about top two in the
Hmm.
East. And they weren't. They were at three all year, but I really expected them to be battling like Cleveland and Boston to be in that tier. Boy, did they prove me wrong. They are that good. They are living up to their full potential. Because when you look at that starting lineup, you got Brunson, you got Cat. I'm going out of order.
It's all right.
You got Bridges,
Bridges. Yep.
you got OG. I don't know who the last person is though.
I mean, sometimes it's McBride, sometimes it's. I
Mitchell
mean, man,
Robinson, Josh Hart, they be
yeah,
switching it in and out, but they have, for sure, like one of the better overall teams in the league. That depth, and then when you got a stone cold killer, fourth quarter clutch player of the year, makes you elite.
yeah. The first 2 games, Brunson was sitting out a lot of those comebacks, and he just put the icing on the cake when he came in. This series was it was the funnest series of the year. The funnest. Going to Boston. What is the excuse? I mean, we know Tatum got hurt, but before you talk about the Tatum injury, what is the excuse for Boston? What happened in your opinion?
Yo, Boston been doing this shit though.
Yeah, this
If
is
you
the
know,
MO, not this
this is
draft.
Boston's like this is what Boston's been doing, but like on the ultimate scale.
Yeah, this is
Like
like
Boston's
spring.
been choking in the playoffs. And it doesn't sound like that because they've made it to so many Eastern Conference finals and so many finals, but they've been doing this in the playoffs. They've been losing games they're not supposed to lose. They've been blowing leads. They've been losing at home in the playoffs for the whole Tatum and Brown era. And that's crazy because I imagine with all their success, if they would have actually tightened this part up, they probably would have had a few rings by now.
Mm.
But this is their MO, just, on the most catastrophic scale. I've never seen something like that, Tyler.
That
Not
was yeah,
two,
that's a
not two
philosophy
in a
at the top.
row, 20-point comebacks. Not two in a row.
At home, at home. Yeah, Boston's collapse was terrible. I mean, going to you before the playoffs started, you hear that this team was going to be kind of disassembled because of financial reasons. So this is kind of you go into it as a last run with a roster and how it's built. Round one was pretty easy. They won pretty easy 4-1 to the Magic, and Magic put up a good fight, but the Celtics should have put up a better fight than they did.
They should have killed them,
They
boy.
they they
They were
they
clearly better than them. Clearly better
they
than them. Everyone knew. They were up by 20 every fucking game.
they were constantly doing the wrong thing. They did get hot every once in a while to get those leads, but you just felt as the New York came back shot by shot. Boston's miss by miss. You could feel the arena get quieter and quieter
Nah, but
and
Tyler, speak
quieter.
on this. What really fucked up Boston is the whole new philosophy and mentality on basketball as a sport, period.
Oh, okay. The 63s.
I need you to really speak on that because I know you've seen Boston with a 20-point lead, and instead of burning out the clock, driving the ball, causing fouls and shit, they just kept chucking threes, and that's what really low key. If you
That's what
really want to
Boston
say
did.
what's one thing, what's their fucking thing that fucked them over, wasn't nothing New York did.
No.
It was what they
We
did
played
to
great defense at
themselves.
times, but I agree. I agree because there was a lot of moments, especially in game two, where Tatum's getting the switch on where he wants, and then he just takes a step back, and when he's already 28 feet behind the line, and you got Mitchell Robinson on you, drive past him. Tatum is a fantastic driver, right?
For sure.
If the lane is open, take it. You can shoot. We all know that, but you have to chip away at this. This can't just be a blowout. This is the playoffs. They're not going to stop until it's 0-0.
But they really did that, like live by the three, die by the three. They died by it, and I think this was huge red flag on Joe Mazzulla. Like
You think
you
so?
didn't change. You
Yeah.
you were arrogant. You were ignorant. You were hard-headed about it.
But it's what got them there. It's what got
But
them
the
to
best but
be
the
second in
best
the
teams,
East.
Tyler, you notice the best teams to
I mean,
actually win,
I agree.
they make those changes in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's not even a hard change. Yo, fellas, if you have a 20-point lead, stop chucking threes. Let's just try to get easier shots.
Yeah. That
Or
was a
let's
big
just play
thing.
a
A
little
lot
bit
of
more
them.
physical. Let's kill the clock. There's different ways you could go about it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So yeah, great win by the Knicks. Oh, Tatum gets injured. We know what happened. I'm sure if anybody's listening,
Heartbreaking. Torn
what what was
Achilles.
what was your first initial reaction to it?
I think it was so tragic and ironic that Jason Tatum got injured going after a ball that Jalen Brown turned over.
Oh shit.
Think about it. Hey, think about it, people. It gets deep. Pause. But JT, man, no, it's truly heartbreaking. Truly heartbreaking. He was balling his ass off, and even if they didn't win the series, I would have loved to see him just get his. He was already had 40 something by the time he
That's
got injured.
one of the best performances I've seen him do. He
Best
was
one of the
lights
best
out.
playoff performances that he's had, and um really tragic to see just because like the whole world was against him. The whole world was making fun of him, and just to see someone like that's already down get like even worse, that always sucks to see. So I'm rooting for him. I know he'll get back, but nah, this changed the whole trajectory of his career. This series right here.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that come back from it now seem to be, a good 90, 95% of what they were. Tatum's got that silky shot, so he'll be
He'll be
straight.
good, but I'm just saying like the
It's that
team
ex
won't be the same. The league
Yeah,
won't be the same by the time he gets back. Like this New York series, not even the injury, the New York series, how it went, everything changes the trajectory of his career for sure.
yeah, wow. All right, go moving on to the next series. The best series, in my opinion. Game seven was a dud, which was tonight, but Thunder win 4-3 against the Nuggets in
Them young
OKC.
boys got it done, bro.
They took care of it at home. OKC was loud as can be. I could feel it through the TV. They did their job. Everybody contributed. Shea had over 30, but it didn't matter because Jalen Williams off was going crazy. Chet was
Finally
playing
showed
great.
up.
All these boys were playing great basketball. Great basketball. I mean, get a 30-point victory in a game seven at home. You're feeling real good going to the next round. The series overall was a great series, back and forth. Game seven sucked, but it was a great series. We had all-time performances by Joker, but we had great team performances by OKC, and that's why they're in this position. In my opinion, to talk a little bit nice about the Nuggets, they played above what they've been playing all year in this series. Game three, game four was some of the best basketball. And I think you texted me one morning and said exactly what I thought watching this game. This was some of the
Fam,
best basketball I've ever
I
seen.
was watching a game and it went like a whole 2 minutes where no one
No
missed.
one, no one missed. It was like, oh,
Everyone was hitting amazing shots back to
everyone.
back to back on both ends. Not just the whole team.
The whole team was hitting. And it was just like, oh shit, who's gonna be the first to miss? So this was a great series. If you love basketball, you had to love this series. Shea, I want to see a little bit more alpha in Shea.
Man, too cool.
He's too calm, too collective. I need to see a little bit more oomph because sometimes they go in a stretch where they look for someone, but they always look for Jalen Williams instead. I know he's the shooting guard, but Shea can do so much with so little. So I want to see a little bit more, but it was a great series by the Thunder, taking care of business. And this is where we were talking about where they should be. At minimum, they should be here.
Western Conference Finals.
They're healthy and they're playing great, and they should be on the up because this was a very tough matchup. Hey, let's not
This was
mention
their
that.
proven match right here.
This was
If you
it. Like,
could
yo,
beat Denver, you're on that next level. Not
if
just
you,
like in terms of standings, in terms of like journey, in terms of
yes,
team.
going through a big dog in the league. And what did you see from the Thunder from this series?
Yo, people, let me tell y'all this. I don't watch mad hours of basketball. And one part of basketball that I've always been infatuated with is the mid-range jumper. People say it's a dying art. It's still very much around. I'm a huge fan of Jordan. His post game in the mid-range went crazy. Same thing with Kobe. You got later versions that did it phenomenally well, like Kawhi, KD. But Tyler, people, let me tell you something. SGA, the best mid-range shooter I ever seen.
He's automatic.
No, no, that's it. That's it. And it's not even, I don't need stats. Just watch the game. I've never seen a more automatic mid-range jumper. And when I say automatic, yeah, Kobe's was prettier. Yeah, Jordan's had more fadeaway. But when you say like a machine, like it don't matter the defense, it don't matter where he's at on the floor, the ball's gonna go the same arc, the same trajectory. It's gonna go in the rim. It's gonna literally the way it goes in the rim is gonna be the same every time.
He's got like auto lock, like auto aim. He
And
just
he
locks
had
in.
like a historic, like if I'm not mistaken, like the best mid-range shooting season of all time. I think
Really?
he was shooting 60% from mid-range this year.
Wow, that's pretty fire.
And that's his bag, and you can't stop it. There's no one in the league stopping it. No one in the league is stopping Shea from getting to his mid-range shot, and I'm ready to give him that title. He's the best mid-range shooter I've ever seen. That shit's different. That shit is on some Terminator cyborg shit. The way his mid-range go.
Yeah, he's definitely automatic, and his shot is so silky smooth.
He
He's
30. He 30 at minimum. He's gonna
I
give you
mean,
30 at minimum.
from the Nuggets side. What did you see? MPJ was not there. Aaron Gordon was another one of those guys that had a great playoff run. He
He
was
was
hurt in
off to a
this.
legendary, but he fell off at the end.
He got hurt. I mean,
He
it's
got hurt, but
unfortunate.
exactly how you started what you were saying is the exact reason they lost. Because Aaron Gordon and MPJ didn't show up. Because playoff Murray came to the party. You know
Yeah.
playoff Murray gonna be there. And Joker, I don't even gotta say much. Best player in the league. But when those other two don't come, that team can get beaten. And I'm sure you've seen there's like, these news that these stat that came out that Murray and Joker have been in mad game sevens. Like I'm talking like at least five different series that ended in game seven. And I've heard people different debate on how do you interpret that. Some people say like, oh, Joker didn't have help, but I think that's a testament to his greatness. This guy is so great, you're not sweeping him. You're not getting him out of here quickly. If anything, you're gonna scratch and claw to a 7 game series. Another player I've seen like that is Kawhi. Like, yeah, Kawhi, they've had their like failures throughout the years, but it's gonna be a game seven with Kawhi.
Mhm.
It's gonna be very hard to get him out of there because those players are just so impactful in a playoff series. But man, nah, I mean, Joker's did his thing, but even in the beginning, like first 3 games, they had that boy struggling.
Oh yeah, OKC is one of
Hmm.
the best in the
Their
league when
defense,
it comes to
brother,
defense.
their defense,
That's what won them the game today.
I think they're the best defensive team in the league.
Yeah,
Yeah, and bro, they have a guy on the bench, Wallace,
yeah.
long dreads.
hmm
You
He's like
better
their
not play
seven.
with that ball.
He's like the
You better
seventh,
not
eighth
play
man in
with that
rotation.
ball. You better not play with that ball in front of him, boy, because you gonna get ripped.
hmm
You're gonna get ripped, and
Yeah,
that's a
they're. I
bench
mean,
player.
yeah, that's their
I think
seventh,
they
eighth
got it
man.
like he's. I mean, to me, he's all defense NBA. I don't know what team you put him on, but I think he's that caliber defender coming off the bench.
So Nuggets next year. What do you think they do?
Get MPJ the fuck out of here,
Yeah,
please.
he's gonna. They need a retool for sure.
Get
Because the team
MPJ out
wasn't
of
that great.
here. AG, go get yourself one last contract, fam. Thank you for everything you did, but you gotta go too.
No, he'll stay around.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know he'll stay
he'll stay
around,
around for
especially
sure.
after the playoff run he just had. He could stay, but I think MPJ gotta go.
Well, Joker's made.
Obviously, they gotta
Yeah,
get a new coach,
yeah.
and
I
then
mean, I
I don't
thought
really
this.
see. I don't even see like any other players going. Like they're gonna get like role players, but I don't see a star going there. Ain't nobody want to go to Denver.
You don't think playing with Joker would appeal any of another All Star?
Nah, because
No.
he's ball dominant.
I mean, but you look at players like Aaron Gordon, right? They made a career off of Joker.
Yeah, yeah, but that's not a star. A star's gonna.
No, but think of. I mean, who would? Okay, who would you pair with Joker that would work and that wouldn't work?
I mean, someone like Darius Garland, that shit would work perfectly, but they already got Jamal Murray, so they wouldn't get him. I
I
really
mean,
don't know.
yeah, I'm not gonna. It's whatever. But yeah. So moving on, Western Conference Finals. Thunder and Wolves. The 1 seed Thunder, 6 seed
The
Wolves.
YN battle.
So the matchup that we're gonna hear about a lot: Ant Edwards versus Shea, the future of the league.
They got a little bit of history too now.
Do they?
Yes, sir. Let me fill you in.
Tell
Pause.
me.
They both know that they are the future of the league,
Okay.
candidates for the face of the league.
hmm
And not only that, but they aura on a million. Like they know they him. When you have two people that are him in the same room, there's always going to be some kind of friction. Always going to be some kind of tension. So they had played earlier this year. I think it was like a super close game. I'm pretty sure it was tied up their series in the year. And I think during the game, like Ant Edwards had kind of made fun of SGA's foul hunting.
Oh, interesting.
And I think there was a little bit back and forth with that. So it's gonna be very interesting to see.
Hmm.
I could definitely see them too. You know Ant Edwards gonna talk smack. SGA don't really talk smack, but I know Ant Edwards gonna talk smack.
No, SGA is stays. I wish I could have the mindset he has playing, actually doing anything.
Man, it's so even. Hey, but them rap quotes as the captions, that's just played out, fam. That's some 2012 shit. Come on now, fam.
All right, so on the court, what do you see in this series? Thunder just coming off of 7 games, Wolves coming off another gentleman's sweep.
Is
The-
Anthony Edwards ready, Tyler?
This is
Is he
this
ready?
is
Is he ready to go get a chip right now this
this
year?
is a are you ready for both of these teams? Are you ready? Who's more ready? Is what this is.
Because I think Thunder as a team, they're better. But I think right now, Anthony Edwards is the best player in this series.
Mm,
So it's tough. Is Anthony Edwards ready to do this year? Is
this is
this the beginning of the Anthony Edwards Hall of Fame career this year? First ring.
if he does advance to the championship, he's checking boxes. And I think you're right. He's like a year or two ahead of
He's early. He's
where we
early.
projected him. Like if you think the Luca,
But the greats do it early.
yes, you think of Luca, he got to those checkpoints pretty early. Ant's doing it even earlier, and Luca's already praised by the greats, right? He's
Yeah.
already solidified himself as a great in his own sense. This is early. If Ant can give you averaging 35 and clutch moments, the sky's the limit for him. He could be the face of the league going into next year.
He could. This is gonna be a great series, man.
But I
I don't
think
know. Who you
I
got, fam? You gotta tell me, bro.
I got the Thunder, and let me tell you why. Is because what the Thunder can do, and they just did it to Joker. They're gonna make everybody else beat. They can take out your best player. Because we know if Ant comes out with a dud, they're probably not going to win. It's the same thing with Joker. If Joker, I mean, Joker was doing everything for them in Game 7, but
It's gonna be a struggle for Randall too. Cause
it's going to be a struggle.
them 2 7 footers,
They're
that's what was
big.
fucking up Joker.
Exactly. They can double. And even Caruso's guarding the 6'11
You got two
behemoth.
all defensive players coming off the bench in Caruso and Wallace. That's like their defense is stupid.
Defense is going to have to win this series, and I think it will, just like what they just did. I mean, there was Joker had all-time moments, and he lost this series. So
He
I think
did.
it's gonna be really hard. So Ant really has to he's gonna have to do a lot, and he could finish with 15 assists in maybe in one of these games because they're not gonna let him shoot. But I will say, going to Ant, he's has put one of the best jump shots in the league. Like form wise, that shit is textbook. That is like
That
how
shit is
Clay's
tight.
was, how some of those Kawhi's is some of those
And you
best
could tell he worked to
forms.
get to
Hell
this
yeah.
point.
I mean, he's the best.
Wasn't
He had
looking
made the
like
most
that
three
rookie
pointers
year.
this year. Yeah, it's crazy. So I got the Thunder in that, and I've already dismissed the Wolves once, but I feel bad doing it a second time because I seen when they do play how good it looks with their size, their ferocity, and their shot making, and their alpha, fucking Edwards. You know what I mean? But the Thunder, I just saw what they did to an all-time player. It's hard for me to think
They
that they're
did.
going to let anybody move on.
They did.
What
Nah,
about
man.
you?
I think Ant Edwards ready, bro.
And
I
I don't
think
fault
he's
you
ready
for it.
now. I think he went to the Olympics. I think he learned. I think he proved himself to be the next guy. Once I seen him disrespecting ex-president Barack Obama, trash talking him to his face with a hat half tilted and a hoodie on, I'm like, oh, he different. Like he is different. But and I think he's gonna prove that this year. I think the way the Timberwolves been playing, not just him, but I think everyone else around him was playing like extremely high level. From DiVincenzo to Randall to Gobert to McDaniels, like they're all hooping. And they've been the most dominant team in the playoffs. Thunder just came off a brutal 7 game series. I got T Wolves in this, but I think it goes seven.
Wow. Okay. I don't fault you for that either, though. I think we the best we've seen at the Wolves has been some great basketball. My biggest concern is, are we going to see the Wolves that play with their food against the Warriors in some of these games?
Yeah.
When sometimes it took just a little bit too long to put the nail in the coffin. And the Thunder has proven. I mean, I'm gonna erase what I said and go off what you said. They've been the best in the league, especially the back of it, within recent. Going to
But
the
they
Eastern
kind of
Conference,
been exposed a little bit in the playoffs, I would say. They haven't been as dominant in the playoffs like the regular season.
I agree. Eastern Conference Finals, Pacers at the 4 seed and the Knicks at the 3 seed.
Rematch from last year.
What do you see going into this series? I'm so excited for this because this is going to be a physical series, very
This shit gonna
physical.
be smoke. Hey, two people are scrapping at least. Now you know NBA, they're not really gonna fight, but they gonna get into it for sure. People gonna need to get separated for sure. Yeah, I
Shit,
think this is
Knicks
gonna be a
poked the bear a
phenomenal
lot
series.
last series. Yeah, yeah, it
I think
was.
it's gonna be a phenomenal series, but I think it's time to get the Pacers the fuck out of here. It's time to get Halliburton, his two voices, his dad. It's time to get all them boys out of here. Knicks are coming for like it's different because like they lost to him last year and they weren't healthy, and now they're coming back even better, healthy at the right time. Just beat defending champs. I think they're gonna take care of business. I don't see it going seven.
That's if everybody stays healthy in the series.
Hmm.
Not one of these teams can lose one player in that starting five.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a really physical series, and I'll be happy if no one gets hurt. But I just got Knicks by a smidge winning this series. Because I will say Indiana surprised me a lot. I didn't watch a ton of Indiana. I don't get them over here. They're like we said earlier, they're not a sexy team, but they've surprised me so much, and they've played great team ball. I just see the Knicks just a smidge better, and they have the X factor,
So
Brunson.
you think it'll be a close series for sure?
I think it'd be a close series. I think it's going to be a tough series. I can see it going back and forth, game by game. I don't see any blowouts of some sort. Um, I just don't want the Knicks to always have to look in Brunson's way to close games. Like let's
Yeah,
do
like
it
can they
as
actually
a
blow
bet.
someone out for once?
Yeah, like we can't have a close game every time. I need
Right. That's not a good
some
sign.
good wins.
Some convincing ones.
Some convincing wins, yeah. So I got the Knicks by a smidge in there because I think the five that Pacers close with and the five that the Knicks close with, they're similar in size. Shooting goes to the Knicks, but Pacers have some of that magic some nights where just everybody's hot.
Yeah,
Everybody's hot.
their offensive potential is crazy. They fuck around, drop 140 on you.
But honestly, I could see the Pacers winning too in another world, in another timeline. I could see that
Cause
too.
they on some crazy Cinderella run for sure.
They are. They are.
So
They took down legitimate
like you
teams.
always say, it got some of that,
It's got to have a little
that
bit on there.
a little
Got
bit of
it.
that mojo.
Fun fact of the day for you: the cheapest ticket for Game One for both of these spots in OKC, it's 170, right? Which is for Western Conference Finals game. I'm there.
Light work.
In New York, it's 671.
Jesus
The
Christ.
cheapest ticket. That's crazy, bro. And you know
Six
how
times the amount.
MSG's so big, you're gonna be touching the ceiling watching the game.
But like I said, man, basketball, NBA is just better when New York is good, when they're in it. You just feel the culture behind it. You feel all the hip hop just behind it. It's a whole movement. Really dope to see when New York is a good team. I ain't never really seen that in my life for real, because I ain't never believed in them Carmelo teams.
Yeah, me neither. Anything left you got left on the conference finals?
That's it.
All right. Staying in the NBA, I'm a guy that doesn't think a lot of shit is rigged when it comes to sports. I never thought that, oh, they want this team to win. Oh, they want this team to get the first pick. I never believed in that, right? Especially when it comes to like the lottery and the future, right? I can see where it happens every couple times, but fate doesn't do this, okay? Like the world doesn't work like this. Okay. When you make an idiotic mistake or have an idiot have a tremendous loss in a franchise, a la LeBron leaving.
When
Um,
you make a fucking generational mistake, there's
yes,
not a
and
generational fix right after.
no, no, there's no when AD leaves for the Lakers and they get the first pick.
When you get in a car accident and you kill someone, it ain't no fix. It ain't no like, oh,
You
let
don't get a
me.
new car from straight from the dealership when you do that. Okay.
You don't get a new person either.
This is the first time where I actually was like, oh, for
Hey,
one,
this is
hey,
beautiful, bro.
hey, for one, let me say for one more time. For once, the NBA lottery hour-long show is horseshit.
I
I
never
can't
watched that
believe they
bullshit.
do that.
Shit's ass.
You don't need to do this. It could be 30 minutes, go in, get out, do what you have to do. It doesn't need to be a fucking WWE event. Just fucking go. Let's do this. Besides that, when I saw the Mavericks guy, whoever that was, some sort of front office gentleman, he was
Some
cheesing like
suit.
he knew what he was getting for his birthday. Okay. He would, if they told him, yo, be cool, calm, and collective, he did the opposite. Now, I like looking at
Couldn't cont
audience.
How can you contain it when you know you get the first? You know you're gonna get the first.
I love looking at audience members on like TV. I love looking at ridiculous fans. I love looking in the background for like just random shit. But that's how I watch TV. And I noticed that motherfucker right away. Okay. I said, wow,
What
Mavericks
was
look
it getting a
happy.
little too giddy?
Because you see like Hakeem, he's stoic. You got a lot of other guys, they're just
Trying to be
ready for business.
professional.
You had Jared McCain, your boy. He was laughing, but that's his MO.
Yeah.
He knew some shit was going on. He did. I don't know if that was anything, but he had to know. 1.8% chance that that was going to happen for a generational fuck up, and then for this to happen. Fate don't work like that.
No. And it's not even fate, but like you said, in life,
Karma
bro.
don't work like that.
Exactly. It's like in life when you make a generational fuck up, when you lose the girl of your dreams, the next girl of your dreams doesn't come 2 months later. That's not how it works. It don't work like that. You gonna live 40 years in agony going through mad girls that just ain't her. That's reality, and that's like you said, karma, because bro, it's the consequences of the mistake. So you telling me it's not even the fact that they won, Tyler. It's the whole storyline leading up to it. And it's weird because like I'm a huge conspiracy theory guy. I know sports are rigged just because there's so much money behind it. I try to ignore it so I can still enjoy it. But sometimes I see it. I lived through the whole Patriots dynasty. That's really what made me realize all this shit to begin with. I seen LeBron's cramps versus the Mavericks in the finals. I've been through it as a fan. I've been through it. This one, I wasn't really convinced at first. I was like, yo, it could be. Like people win the lottery, right? So it's not the fact that a team with a 1% chance got it, because like that could happen. Technically speaking, that's why it's still a 1% chance, right? It's the fact that it was this team. It's the fact that when you think about it, the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. So let's go back to that tragic night, which isn't so tragic anymore, where Nico Harrison, is it Harris or Harrison? I throw an extra sauce on his name and
Hey,
shit.
fucking Harrison, go for it. Who cares? Go for it.
So Nico Harrison, not Nico Harris and fucking Rob
Nah,
Pelinka.
dude, who takes two? Nico Harrison. Nico Harrison.
Nico Harris and
Nico Harrison?
is it Harrison or Harris?
Bro, just who cares? Nico, just Nico.
So when Nico and Pelinka got on the phone on that legendary night, now we can finally see, like, you know how it's in the movies where you go through the whole movie trying to figure out what happened in the murder scene, and then at the end of the movie you figure it out, and then they replay the murder scene. So now we actually saw what happened that night when Nico and Pelinka talked. So this is how it went. It wasn't just, what I had theorized that Nico had owed Pelinka a favor from the Nike days. It was a 50-50 deal. It was a you scratch my back, I'm gonna scratch your back. You give me Luca, you secure the Lakers' future past LeBron. We get rid of AD, who's injury prone and doesn't really have the persona to be the face of LA. You get AD and the first overall pick, which is Cooper Flag, which is going to a franchise that is known to have a white superstar, but it's always been an international one. Now you can actually get a homegrown American one, which is like a gold mine in the NBA. Makes
That's
too
a
much of
reach. That's a
perfect sense.
stretch.
I've heard people theorize that one,
That's a stretch. I mean,
but
Dallas probably wouldn't even have that pick if Miami shit the bed even more.
that Miami shit.
So what? Okay, so bouncing off of that, I mean, we're talking conspiracies. Could it also be because a top 6, 7 market in the NBA now hates their franchise because they got rid of their future, their golden child, and now they don't want anything to do with the team? Could it be
What do you
that?
mean?
How much the fan base was so upset at the Mavs
Yeah.
organization for allowing this to happen. I'm sure their attendance went way down. I'm sure their popularity went way
Yeah,
down.
that definitely has to do with it. Yeah.
Could it be that? I don't know. The fact that
I think all the
whoever
above could be
who,
true.
whoever rewarded them, it sucks because they should have
But
been.
bro, the NBA's been fishy from when they was, rejecting trades with Jordan and CP3, like doing deals with Disney, the bubble. I mean, they've been doing really sketchy business, but
Listen, I'm not
man, I
saying the
just feel
lottery.
bad for the fucking the Wizards. I feel bad for the fucking Hornets.
Utah
I
was
feel
fifth.
bad for fucking
Yeah.
Utah. Like, bro, these are teams that have been trashed for 20 years and NBA hasn't given them one first overall pick. But who got fucking 100 over first overall picks and still didn't do nothing with it? Philadelphia. They the whole trust the process, all that shit, they got mad first overall picks. You know who also got mad first overall picks to try to secure post LeBron? Cleveland. So it's not just a 1% team. The same teams have gotten the one overall pick in the past couple decades.
I think
And the
there's
worst
like
teams in the league haven't gotten it.
I think it's like 10 teams have never been the first overall pick. I think 15 maybe.
And
But
if you really play the chances, they should have definitely been it by now, just
yeah,
based on
so
numbers.
I'm not saying the lottery was rigged, but this is the first time where I was like, all right, this can't be right.
Yeah.
What is your going on to my next question? What is your opinion on all of the jerseys in the NBA now? Like there are some really tough to look at jerseys, some minor league looking jerseys, some no actual design in some of the jerseys. What is your opinion on this? Because I'll tell you what, the Pacers jersey that they wear a lot is one of the trashiest jerseys ever.
NBA
Ever.
jersey's been trashed for a minute, bro. I think the
There's
last
no
time they was dope was like when they was doing that Vice City shit with Miami. But I'm talking about like the first wave with like D Wade and Shaq when they was like fucking with the Heat uniform, like
The
that whole
Floridian.
black
Yeah.
hot Heat shit.
Hmm.
I think that was the last time uniforms were actually dope. I think once they did that sleeve bullshit, those little mini sleeves,
Yeah, the nicknames on the back.
it's been downhill ever since.
Yeah, well,
It's
Nike
gotten
took
too
over.
generic too. Is and Nike with Nike is too generic. It's too AI. It's too corporate. It's too like soulless. It don't got personality. It don't got flavor. It don't got spirit. It's just like a robot made this shit. It look
There's
like
so many of them now, especially some teams that you're watching a. I remember watching a Milwaukee game and they're all baby blue. I'm like, what the fuck? You're watching,
Hold on, hold on.
I've seen other teams. It's like, oh, they're maroon, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like Heat are the only real red, other than the Bulls and Blazers. And
Boy,
I
watching
just
the Milwaukee Bucks game, the ugliest green out, and these boys is wearing motherfucking
baby blue,
sky
bro.
blue.
Come on, dude. Like, who's agreeing to this? But also the thing is like, if you're gonna have an outrageous jersey like that, have that be the only one. So there's some sort of significance when they do wear it. But on top of that, they have three or four other goofy ass
And
alternatives too.
make it rare,
Make it
make it like you wear it once or twice per season. That's it.
make it how it was when the Heat would wear the Floridian jerseys, when the Raptors would wear the old school '90s jerseys. Like make it a thing. When
Yeah.
Cleveland, when Braun was on the team, they had those special edition, those
Oh
yellow
my
joints.
God.
Those were the Knicks, the all orange. Like make it rare. But like you're watching,
Start bringing back throwbacks. That's all you got to do. Start bringing
yeah.
back the throwbacks
Stop trying
because
to change everything.
that's what's in style. 90s shit is in style right now. You don't got to look too far. In the fashion world, everything gets recycled, everything gets reused. So just start reusing some of the old designs. I don't know how that works because it was different companies at the time, but that's what I would do.
Well, what I
I
think
would
it
look
is
at a
now,
design from the 90s and say, yo, I need something like that.
what I think it is now, I think there's volume. They made the jerseys cheaper. We know that. They know that. You don't have to. It's not crazy to look at a 2000s jersey and look at a 2020 jersey where the jerseys are cheaper. So they're cheaper. They make more of them, and they hope more people like all the alternative jerseys rather than have two or three alternatives and maybe some of the diehard fans buy. So it's like, someone in Milwaukee loves those blue jerseys. You know, they buy them all. And then with the ones that don't sell, they just don't wear them anymore. That's what I think it is.
I think that Milwaukee shit threw everyone off, bro.
Yeah. The last thing I want to add to the episode. This is very random. I wanted to text it to you, but I'd rather just tell it to you. Have you ever seen Star Wars, the original Star Wars?
I never seen a Star Wars movie in my life. I'm not against it. I just never had the
Okay.
time to. I still plan to watch all of them.
Okay. Good. I'm glad we're on the same page. I was at that same moment, right? I seen all the Family Guy Star Wars. I know some of the characters just because of pop culture. So this past weekend, or no, I'm sorry, this past week, I watched the first trilogy of the Star Wars, the ones in the late '70s, early '80s. If you pay attention and understand what's going on, it's a great series. The first trilogy was great. Yes. I see the hype, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, you
You
understand
understand it?
who's who, what's going on with where.
The significance of shit.
Yes, the okay, that's important. That's what this story's really about. And especially in the early '80s, the technology that they were using was light years ahead of what anybody ever saw. Now they did go back in some of the ones, especially on Disney Plus. They modified it, made it look a little better, but just smooth shit out. I watched the trilogy, the first one, which was only supposed to be a trilogy. It did so well. The creator, George Lucas, if I'm not mistaken, his name,
Yes, sir.
he wanted to make a prequel and then he did a sequel. So I'm in the middle of the prequel, and there's stuff that's some sort of, some kind of outdated. But as the episodes get newer, the technology gets better, and I'm in. Like, I'm halfway through the 9 movies. Get on it. All I could say, if you're against it at all, I'm not saying you are, but if anybody's listened to this, if you liked Guardian of the Galaxies, you're gonna love this because it's just more serious too.
Yeah, I mean, you just see the folklore, you see the fan base.
Yeah.
That's why I never disrespected it. If someone had this big of a fan base and this loyal of a fan base for so many years, I know it's great. So yeah, I still plan to see it. I still gotta finish some Harry Potter movies. I think I stopped
Oh
at
man,
like four.
I've ran through those shits like crazy. Harry Potter. I won't talk bad about Harry Potter.
I think I stopped at like four. I gotta finish that and I gotta do the Star Wars for sure.
Yeah, but add Star Wars. So me bringing this up, add Star Wars to your list. Watch 3, 4, and 5 because they weren't recorded in the right order. It goes 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3, 7, 8, 9. Right. So it's the way you can watch it in order 1 through 9, but the way it was meant to be watched. That's
Right.
that's what he said. That's why I'm watching it like this.
So the
It's
7, 8, 9 is the newer ones.
is the newest trilogy because I don't know if the
But
newest
then they
ones.
started doing mad spin-offs and shit.
Yeah, so I don't know anything about that yet.
Are
That
you
I
gonna
don't.
like get on all those too?
There is going to be a limit because there's so much. There's
Because
going
they
to be.
started doing shows and shit.
Yeah, I watched The Mandalorian and that shit was really good. I'll
That
say
shit was
that.
tough. That shit was tough.
It was
I
really
seen
good.
one or two. Maria was watching it. That
It
shit
was
was
really
dope.
good. So
Little Baby Yoda and shit.
don't yeah. So try Star Wars out. It's good. You'll really like it.
Got to. Damn.
Right, man. You got anything to add to the episode?
Ah, gang. That's it. I swear I had some more shit. It'll probably come to me when it's too late.
All right, man. Well, we'll be talking. We'll be talking before that, but we'll be recording again for the finals. So, hey, if you guys are still listening, appreciate y'all. Make sure
For
y'all
sure.
again like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. And Dixon, I'm out. Appreciate you.
I'm out. Peace.